is so dusty. Hi everyone, welcome to today's video, and yes, as you may have noticed, I'm a Katie without an Emma, and I'm not in a car. We have decided that every other month you'll be getting separate videos from each of us talking about separate passions that we have. And today we're starting with me, Katie's Corner. Also purely because Emma has gone on holiday without me. Rude, I may add. As you can see by my background, Katie's Corner is going to be me talking about all things books. As some of our previous videos, we do like to talk about nostalgic things and looking back at old films, TV shows, music, so I thought I'd keep with that theme today, and I'm talking about old books that I used to read as a child, tween, teenager, all of those sort of things. I'm trying to collect 1,000 books because I've heard that if you collect 1,000 books, you technically own a library, and that would be quite cool. I think I'm just above 200, which is quite insane actually, and I just tend to buy books and have no self-control, whether that is classics, whether that is romance, whether that is old books, and even just because they have a pretty cover. As I just said, I'm trying to reach 1,000 books, and I thought part of those books could be old books that I used to read when I was younger. I don't know why I got rid of them. I think potentially when I sort of grew up, I thought I didn't need them. Past Katie, you are silly because you got to this age and you realise that now you want all of them back for nostalgic reasons, and also it'll help you get to that big 1,000. Beside me here, I've actually got a mini bookcase where I'm keeping all the books that I'm rebuying that I used to read, and a big part of that section is Jacqueline Wilson books. I used to love Jacqueline Wilson. I would still happily read them now, but they got me through being sort of 10 to sort of 14, and they're just great. My favourite is a book called Sleepovers, which is I bought from a charity shop, and it's just my favourite. It's just about 5 girls whose names all begin from A, B, C, D and E, and about them all having sleepovers and sort of having different sort of lives they lead, and there's sort of bullying involved, the angst. One of the biggest ones that I remember reading of Jacqueline Wilson, it was a book called Candy Floss. Now, for some reason, this one sticks in my head the most, potentially because the cover's pink, and I used to love pink. I still do. I don't know why I said used to. But this is definitely one of my favourites as well. And I'm sort of just trying to slowly collect all the faves that I had. Again, like these look very old and very used, because as I'm trying to collect them, I don't particularly want to spend loads of money on new books. So I'm trying to sort of give old books a new home. I don't know if anyone else will remember these from being sort of an early teenager, but the girls books, which is Girls Under Pressure, Girls in Love, Girls Out Late, and what's the last one here? Girls in Tears. Now, Emma actually rebought these books and read them all, and then thought, well, Casey is trying to collect all the books, so do you want them? Thank you, Emma. Yes, I do. And do you know what? When you're younger, these books felt so mature. They felt so grown up to read. And do you know what? To be fair, Jacqueline Wilson does touch on some serious subjects in these books. So they're definitely sort of a lesson learnt when you're a young teenager as well. But I remember they were all talking about like kissing and stuff like that, and I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, I can't believe I'm reading a book about kissing and stuff. But you know, they was probably quite tame considering some of the books you probably read now as an adult. Also, like about the girls' books, is Jacqueline Wilson has just released a book called Think Again, which I need to get and I want to read, because it is a follow-up, but a grown-up follow-up to the girls series. So essentially it'll feel very, very nostalgic. I've essentially got more here. I've got The Worst Thing About My Sister from Jacqueline Wilson, Jackie Daydream, Emerald Star, Hetty Feather, The Diamond Girls Queenie, and this is just the start. I have got a full list of ones that I want to read. Now, I would like people to tell me in the comments if they've read Jacqueline Wilson books, and if you have read them, which ones have you read? Another author that I used to read a lot of when I was younger was Roald Dahl, and a bit younger definitely, and I used to collect the magazines. I don't know if anyone else used to do this, but there was a magazine subscription you could have of Roald Dahl, and it used to come with scratchy, smelly cards that you could collect, and you put them all in a little case. And then sometimes you would get the little gems that were like to the book. So there was like a coin for Charlie in a Chocolate Factory. There was a little newt in a glass for Matilda, and I used to love them. I think I collected all of it. Again, that's probably worth some money now, so I should have kept it. I just chucked it away. You never learn. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. But basically, I also want to recollect the Roald Dahl books. I've only got 3, but oh my god, it's so dusty. But how beautiful are these versions? These are from W.H. Smith, and Honestly, they're just so pretty. I don't know, there's something quite elegant about them. That might sound silly, but if anyone's a book fan, they'll know what I mean by the fact there's quite elegance in them. Another series of books that I read when I was younger and then wanted to read again was the Princess Diary books. Now, I actually have all 10 of them, and they're actually still in their cover because I got them from a cheap secondhand website. But again, I've read these books when I was probably about sort of 11 or 12, and definitely because I loved the films. Now, they are nostalgia in itself, but these were great. And the things that only the 2 films did not cover from these books was insane. I just thought, I need to read them again. I need to collect them again and read them again. And basically, I just love reading books that bring back so many good memories, and all of these books I remember so vividly reading. Another series of books that I read when I was even younger, and again, please tell me if you remember them, was called the Rainbow Fairy books. Now, I don't own them, I want to, and please tell me if you remember reading these. Now, it first started this series, the Rainbow Fairies, with just these 7 books, which were literally fairies that were colours of the rainbows. And it has escalated to the point now where you can just get a book that has got your name on it. Oh my God, I wonder if they're in Emma and Katie books. Should I find out? Should I Google it? Right, I'm going to Google it. There are currently 300 of the Rainbow Fairy books now. That's insane. I mean, they're probably not... Oh, they're in sections. I was going to say, they're not even... So it's Rainbow Fairies, Weather Fairies, Pet Keeper Fairies. Whoa. God, it's escalated. Okay, so Katie is part of the pet keeping fairies, and it is Katie the kitten fairy. Not gonna lie, as a dog lover, that is quite fairly disappointing actually, isn't it? Oh, here she is. Okay, so Emma is under the holiday special fairies, and she is Emma the Easter fairy. There you go. I mean, Emma, Easter, chocolate. That's much better than Katie the kitten fairy. So there you go. Also, if we're talking about nostalgic books, we've got to mention Michael Morpurgo books, because Emma also used to really love these books as well. Actually, probably more than I did, because a lot of his books were about animals, and Emma is such an animal lover. But you've got Warhorse, which, oh my God, you can get so many different versions of Warhorse, and they're so beautiful. Some of the illustrated versions of Warhorse are just... oh, so good. So I definitely need to get that. I know that one of Emma's favourites, I think, was called Born to Run, if I remember, which was definitely about a dog as well. Yeah, that's definitely nostalgia. So I definitely want to get some of those books as well. So yeah, as I said, me and Emma are going to be making separate videos sort of every other month talking about separate passions, and mine will be predominantly about books. Follow along with me while I collect more of the books that we used to read when we were younger. Any random books that I want to talk about, I'll talk about and tell you about. Potentially just a bookshelf tour, because there is quite a lot to tour with. Whether or not you want me to talk about anything like I've made for this, like the book nooks, so anything that book related will be spoken about on here. So basically, we wanted to kind of make these videos to show separate passions that we have, because as much as this channel is predominantly going to be Emma and Katie having fun, having a laugh, sharing all these things that we used to do when we were younger, sharing nostalgic memories of when we were younger, and advice as best friends, we also want to show that 2 friends who have been friends for so long can also have separate interests as well. And it's just nice for you guys to kind of see a different side as well, rather than just sitting in a car all the time, which is predominantly mostly what we do, and sit in a car and chat rubbish. But yeah, this is the first video of Katie's Corner. Obviously join when it is also Emma's Corner, and of course next week we'll both see you for a new video. Bye guys!